Hey, Colby.
Yeah, Barry?
I'm going to need you to juice me up. That sounds like much more dirtier. Like now that I've said it out loud, rather than in my head.
It sounds also like something they would say like in like New Jack City or something. You'd be like,
or the gym, whichever.
yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah.
Right. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Ba-ba-ba-ba. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the second movie of Obsession Month.
Obsession.
Right.
Not the perfume.
Yep, not the perfume. Is it still around?
I don't know. When I was young,
You always saw the commercial,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
It's like in black and white. They're always on a beach.
Yeah.
I feel like there was like a format for those commercials. Like cigarettes had, the farming cowboy dude,
Yes.
the Marlboro man,
Yep. Always a rugged guy.
right? And then what's it called? Yeah, that colognes and perfumes had the beach, black and white.
Right.
But yeah. So
Or a fancy ball.
oh right,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's still around, like running around in a fancy dress.
Yeah.
Right. But if you guys don't know where that quote is from, we watched The Cable Guy.
Oh, the Cable Guy.
Right?
With Jim Carrey.
With Jim Carrey and a
Matthew Broderick.
Oh, Matthew Broderick. Who, you know what? After his stint as Ferris Bueller and his stint in War Games, like Matthew Broderick is kind of weird-ish to me as an older guy.
Yes, very much. Yeah,
Like-
he was like the good young actor.
Yeah, like he had those boyish charms.
Right.
But he never grew out of the boyish charms, but he got older.
Yep.
But I think he did the best out of the other ones that come to mind, like Haley Joel Osment,
Right.
Matthew. What's not Matthew McConaughey? What's his name? Home Alone.
Oh, Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He just got like Crypt Keeper like.
Right. I think this would be hilarious, but apparently that they're doing a remake of Home Alone.
Oh.
And there's a petition to have Macaulay Culkin reprise his part. But not as a kid,
as an adult.
As the adult, but play it as the kid. I think it would be hilarious.
That sounds like one of those late night skits.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right, like a Saturday Night or Mad TV kind of thing.
Yeah, this movie also had who I feel like was the 90s version of Anna Kendrick, which was Leslie Mann as Matthew Broderick's girlfriend.
Right. Yep.
You know, she aged really well. Like she was in that movie with Paul Rudd, and This Is 40.
Yes.
Still looks the same,
Yeah.
right? And there's like a whole bunch of other people that's in this movie. Starting out, I mean, we had Jack Black as Matthew Broderick's friend.
A young kind of played the serious guy, Jack Black.
Yeah, right. We had Ben Stiller, who was more cameo, but I also didn't know that he directed this movie.
Right? Yep.
Do you remember that or no?
I do, because I was a huge Ben Stiller fan when this came out.
Was he doing movies in the 90s?
Well, because I liked the Ben Stiller show, and it was like his launch pad and into like stardom, and then
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah,
We also had Owen Wilson,
right. I had totally forgot he was in this.
right? And he's not doing any of his like the quirks that he's known for. He's just playing the asshole blind date guy,
Right. Yep.
and playing it pretty well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I wanted to punch him.
I know, but like growing up, you knew that there was guys like that. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What's making the chicken take so long? Are you hatching them in the kitchen?" Like,
Right. Yep. No, I
wanna
feel
piss in
like
their
I've
food.
gone to restaurants with the person who does that, and they're like,
"Oh no,
"Man, I wanted a salad. Are you gotta grow the lettuce up on the roof? What's going on? Why is it taking so long?"
right." Like, listen, that like jokes like that are only fine if you're one, a dad, and then 2, it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings.
Right. Yes.
What is like the classic dad joke when a waitress comes? He's like, there was like a meme for it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna pop up in my head before this episode is done.
Yeah, and as soon as you say it, I'll be like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
Right. The only thing I could think about is like, you know how some waitresses go to your table and they're like, who's hungry? He's all like, oh, sorry, there's no hungry here, but I'm Frank.
Yep.
These people's dads.
Yep.
Yeah, but this movie actually came out in 1996. The little what's it called, cameos that Ben Stiller is doing is, I think, a joke on the
Was it the Menendez brothers?
I think it's the Menendez brothers because they're twin brothers in here. But also like around that time, like maybe it was 97. It was O.J. Simpson.
Oh, right.
Right?
Oh, yes, because the world was obsessed with
both of those cases.
With both those
right?
cases, like, we gotta watch what's happening. And that was kind of like the beginning of the real court TV without it being like
Judge Joe Brown.
Yeah, right. No, not Judge Judy. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was Judge Judy around that time.
I don't know.
I always felt like she was always on TV.
There was the People's Court.
Oh, maybe that's the kick of it, right? The start of it all.
Yeah.
Let's go into a quick plot overview of this movie. Watching this as an adult, like I've said in plenty of our episodes, is just like it kind of gives you a new perspective. Watching it now versus when you watched it when you were younger. Right. Because this is one of the falls of this movie was that people weren't ready for Jim Carrey's tonal shift as an actor. They still wanted him to be the comedian, the funny guy.
Right. And I remember, because I saw this in the theater, and I remember it just, like, the reviews of this, him just getting trashed for this being just, like, this dark, weird movie that nobody got, and it was,
right.
Like, this was going to be the end of his career.
Yeah. And he just had to come out with Liar Liar.
Yeah, I was like, man, this movie was fantastic. I love to watch him like grow and change, and then like they did a little bit later on, he did, was it Truman Show, and that was like a much more serious role for him. Yeah,
but it was like slightly comedic,
right?
But it's only because Jim Carrey is he's such a charismatic person,
right.
I mean, if you had thrown anybody else in there, it would have been totally just a drama.
Or the original person that they had picked,
Nick Cage,
to play the cable guy was Chris Farley, and it was going to be just a slapstick comedy.
Oh, I like this version.
And then when he turned it down, they did some rewrites, and it got dark, and then they were like, "Uh-oh, who's funny enough to save this and still make it a comedy?"
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a horror movie.
Yeah. See, and I feel like Jim Carrey was sort of the start of that, like the start of. I mean, like some people already knew that like comedians or comedic actors could do drama, right?
Right. I feel like Robin Williams was.
Yeah, but he did more, like just drama, like not like nothing too dark.
Right. Dead Poets Society was pretty dark.
Yeah, but that was more like it was more uplifting towards the end, right?
Right. Yeah.
It was sort of like an adult version of. I'm not gonna say it was an adult I feel like it was an adult version of Kindergarten Cop with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, there's more darker tones in there, but still, it had like a very uplifting message. This sort of had like it was dark all the way through, even to the end.
Right. Yeah.
But like after this, Robin Williams did 1 Hour Photo, which is like another possibly next week's episode.
That movie creeped me out because weirdly Robin Williams, like his haircut and color and stuff, he looked like my dad.
Oh,
and I was like, I do not want to picture my dad being that person. That is really off-putting.
But yeah, there was also Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler, which people weren't ready for.
Right.
They hated seeing. It's weird when you see people come out of their shell and try to explore different genres. They do it so well, but then you hate it because it's like, no, that's not, they refuse to be pigeonholed
Right.
into just being a comedian, right?
Yeah.
Because and also Robin Williams also did in 2002, I believe, is What Dreams May Come, the movie about his wife's suicide and he goes to hell.
Yep.
I was like, oh man, see, so like, but I feel like, as far as for me growing up, Jim Carrey was like the first person, I knew him as Ace Ventura. I knew him as The Mask.
The Mask, yep.
I knew him in Living Color as like the only white dude in there.
Yep.
And then he came out with this movie. It was like, oh, this was different. Oh, but yeah, let's get into the movie plot. We start off with Steve Kovac, played by Matthew Broderick. He's seen moving into a new house.
Right.
He's just super bored. You don't really know what's going on, but he says to Jack Black, who's his best friend at some sort of news station.
Yes,
I believe.
Yeah.
And Jack Black gives him some advice. He's like, "Hey man, look, if you tip the guy $50, he could possibly, cross some wires, get you some free movie channels."
Yeah.
Which is like a legit thing that people used to do in the 90s.
And yeah, I really don't know if it was like a thing, but I always remember before this that was the rumor. It was like, hey, yeah, the cable guy can get you like the special black box, but you got to tip him or you got to pay to have him put the chip in or whatever. And I was young enough and cowardly enough that I would never have the cojones to be like, hey, could you give me a legal cable?
Oh, you'd be like Matthew Broderick, right? You'd be like,
yes,
$50.
If I did it, I would be like, it'd be like, hey, just like him, be like, hey, my friend gave his cable guy $50, and then he gave him like all the movie channels.
Right. Right? No, it's funny because it's so true though, because we had a black box growing up, and it had the Spice Channel. But no, yeah. So as he's waiting, he's of course he's taking a shower, because he's even now, even till today, anyone that's coming to your house to install something, they give you such a ridiculous window. Like, I'll be there between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Even if they're delivering like furniture.
Right. So you're like,
would you like the morning or the afternoon? Yeah. That's how specific we're going to get.
I don't want to make any promises, but I would say the morning. That way, when you get in the afternoon, you're not too disappointed. But you're pretty much house locked.
Yeah.
Until they come, right? And so Matthew Broderick goes into the bathroom, and of course the cable guy comes while he's taking a shower. Yeah, timing is everything.
Always.
But we see that we hear, before we even see Jim Carrey, we hear that he is very obnoxious. He's screaming out, "Cable guy,
right?
Cable guy." But even during their first interaction together, Chip Douglas, the cable guy, is a little intrusive. So before he comes to install this, he sees that the account has changed to where he was previously billed at.
Right. Yeah.
Right, and it has changed to Robin.
Yes.
And so he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Heartbroken?" And I'm like, if it was me, I'd just be like, "I don't know you, so can you just install the cable and bounce?"
And that's kind of how Matthew Broderick is in this. He's just like, "What? How do you know? What are you talking about?"
I know, but but the thing is, Matthew Broderick, his character also is the first one to sort of extend the conversation.
Yeah.
Because as Chip Douglas, air quotes, is finished installing the cable, he's like, "Oh man, you get to know a person and then you gotta leave so fast." And Matthew Broderick is like, "All right, cool, thanks, man." But before Chip Douglas leaves, before he leaves, Matthew Broderick is like, $50. He's like, "What?" He's like, well, my friend told me if I gave you $50, you give me the movie channels. And he's like, "Oh, are you asking me for illegal?"
You trying to bribe me?
You trying to bribe me? I can't do the list. He has such a strong list fit here.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll set you up, man. Don't worry about it." And then weasels his way into a hangout tomorrow, because he quote did Matthew Broderick a favor.
Right. And he's like, yes. Some people don't know about how cool the satellite dish is that gets all this information. You just think it's like coaxial cable, but like this dish is. I mean, we should go out and see it sometime. It'll blow your mind. And Matthew Broderick's like, yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, that's how.
And he's like, oh yeah, okay, let's do it tomorrow night. It's a date.
Yeah, and then he like plays the pity card. So like Matthew Broderick is a what you would say a nice guy. Right. He's a people pleaser.
He is me, because if the cable guy was like that, and then he got like all like pooty hurt, then I would be like, no, I'll go look at the cable dish with you.
But they end up going on this mandate, right? And it actually isn't too bad.
Right. A little bonding and
yeah, because Matthew Broderick at this point is just he's heartbroken. Everything hurts.
Right.
His feelings. And they go out there, they look at the sky, which is a little suspect. That's something you do with a lady.
Right. Yeah.
But Chip Douglas actually gives Matthew Broderick some solid advice. He was like, it sounds like you're trying to not force it, but you're trying to marry her without getting to know all of her or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so he actually uses that line on Leslie Mann, Robin, who's played by Leslie Mann. And
but it's also like he's like, wow, that you barely know me. That's very insightful. It makes sense. And he's like, yeah, it was the Jerry Springer's closing line on last Wednesday's episode. And you start to see that like everything he's saying is like referring to a TV show or quoting from a TV show, or like that he is living the cable life.
Right. I mean, hey, in the 90s, if you were cool enough to have cable, cable was a luxury. Right? But he also, what's it called? So he gives him that solid advice, and he's like, oh, let her know, it's like, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to watch Sleepless in Seattle. He's like, you should tell her, but without, like, insinuating anything,
Yeah.
So, like, everything that he's actually saying is pretty solid, right? And so he uses it, but I forgot. Oh, yeah, they play basketball together after this first hangout. And he is just super aggressive.
Right. And it's not like they went together to play basketball, but he's playing basketball Matthew Broderick's playing basketball with his buddies.
Yeah.
And somebody gets hurt, and all of a sudden, like, Chip Douglas pops out of nowhere and it's like, hey, you have an opening? I didn't know you guys play basketball here.
And he's Jack Black's, all right, man. All right, Chip, you're on my team. He's like, no. I'm on Steve's team. And then one of the guys like, look, I don't care, dude. I just want to play. I'll switch teams. And he's just uber aggressive.
Right.
He even jumps on Jack Black's back to shatter the backboard.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. I'm not going to lie.
Right. But it does ruin the game. Yeah. I'm like, game's pretty much over when you.
Yeah. Well, there's the other side. It's not like they're playing full court. But Jack Black was like, oh, hey. Oh, thanks, Steve, for bringing your friend, the cable guy. And then, he leaves a ton of messages at Steve's house. But this is the day that he was supposed to have dinner with Robin.
Right.
To watch Sleepless in Seattle. And he cuts off the cable to get a call back. But he was already at the house.
Yep.
Signals all over the place. And Matthew Broderick is still not getting a restraining order against this guy. But yeah, they end up having to hang out again.
Right.
He uses the time that he's going to get with Robin as leverage to hang out with Matthew Broderick again at medieval times.
Right. No, he just points it at the best restaurant in town. I'm taking you to dinner at the best restaurant in town.
Yeah, dinner and show. You don't even have to think about what you're going to order because they're just going to give you chicken.
A little baby chicken.
A little Cornish hen.
Yeah.
You just got to eat with your hands.
And then we get Janine Garofalo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, another famous. I always
and then
forget her name.
And she's a Ben Stiller like tag along. Not really. I don't know. Tag along's probably not. But one of those people who like she's in a lot of Ben Stiller stuff.
Oh, it's like Happy Madison stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we get probably the most iconic scene in the entire movie in this, or the most iconic scene in the entire movie right here at Medieval Times.
Oh yeah.
And if you guys don't know what Medieval Times is, it's pretty much just a show with like jousting, sword fights of knights and all that stuff, and then you eat in a stadium.
Yeah, and each section of the stadium is a different color, and so you root for the color of the knight.
Yeah, like black, blue, red.
Yeah.
So, but as they're finishing dinner, Chip Douglas, Jim Carrey, pretty much persuades or blackmails the performers into letting them fight.
Yes.
And this is a pretty decent fight between Chip and Steve.
Right?
Especially when they get those Klingon swords.
Oh, yeah. And then he starts doing the... man, I like almost peed myself laughing so hard when I first saw that. It was the best part of the movie. It was just hilarious.
Yeah, and then as they go jousting, Steve actually beats Chip at jousting.
Yes.
And they have another decent time. Yes, Chip might have gotten a little out of control, but by the end of the night, Steve Broderick was like, "Oh, that was actually pretty cool."
Right.
But as they get back to his house, he has broken into Matthew Broderick's home and installed a home theater system.
Right.
Man, looking at this home theater system, I know back in the 90s, thousands of dollars.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because big screen TV in the 90s, not cheap.
Right. And those amps for the sounds and all that stuff, not cheap. And
state of the art karaoke machine.
And now, like, I was just like, oh man, I'm so glad we developed into like sound bars and YouTube karaoke.
Yep.
Because it took up so much room, right? But Matthew Broderick's like, dude, I can't. This is too much. I can't keep it all.
Yeah,
I can't keep this. This, and yeah, good for him because it was some gifts. You have to know the limit, right? Right, especially for the crowd you're catering to. Like, if Matthew Broderick was a super rich guy, he probably would have taken it because it's like pennies to him.
Yeah.
But when you're just like a normal, like he's like an architect at this point, but he's not like a director or anything.
Right, and he looks like he's like really kind of pushing to get his first
big promotion.
Yeah.
Right. But Chip Douglas, he convinces him. He's like, hey, let's just do a party one time, and then I'll take it all back.
Right, yeah. My friend with the pickup isn't going to be available to help me move this till this weekend anyway, so we'll just have a party, and then this weekend I'll have him help me move it all, and then it'll be out of your way.
Yeah, but it's a party with all of Chip's preferred customers.
Right, yes, because if you get free cable, then you're a preferred customer.
And it's like a strange array of people. There's a cop there, there's
right. Couple old people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. So it looks like a pretty decent sized party. But Chip points out to Matthew Broderick or to Steve, like, hey, that girl's checking you out.
Right.
And so as Chip is doing karaoke to, I believe, is it Guns N' Roses?
Yes.
Oh no, Rolling Stones. It's Rolling Stones. Something love. I forgot. But he sings, and it's like this very strange.
It's a very like a psychedelic song.
Yeah.
When you want somebody to love.
There you go. Yeah. But it's like he performs it in such a very hippie-ish type of way. But as that's happening, Steve goes into the bedroom with Heather, who we learn next morning was a prostitute.
Right.
Because Chip is like, oh, it's fine, man. I got it. Next time you get it.
And he's like, what are you talking about?
He was like, the girl, I bought it this time, you buy it next time for me.
He's like, what? You let me sleep with a prostitute? And then Chip says, no, she's clean because I tested her out last week. No drips.
And at this point, obviously, I would be livid. It was like, I can't believe you let me sleep with a prostitute.
Right.
But Chip's like, dude, don't worry, I got it. I can fix this. And so he sabotages Robin's date.
Right.
With Owen Wilson. He beats him up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then the next morning it's reported on the news, bathroom beating. And then he goes over to her house and he's like, hey, someone's paid for you to get all the premium channels for free.
Right, the rainbow package.
And Robin's like, oh, was it Steve? And he's like, oh, I can't say. I told Steve, And so he sort of is trying to, like, this is weird. So he's trying to be a good friend, right, by mending fences with Robin.
Right.
For Steve.
But at the same time, he's like setting up little cameras in her house and spying on her and just being generally creepy.
Yep. But because of his intervention, Robin does end up reaching out to Steve and saying, like, hey, I love you. You got me cable. I was like, man, the 90s were easy.
Right. And she's like, hey, Steve, cable's the ultimate aphrodisiac.
I mean, hey, back then, I guess it was like, hey, do you want to come back to my loft and cable and chill?
Right. Yep.
We could watch the guide channel so we could find out what's what on the TV. All right, understand, guys. If you guys don't know what a guide channel was, it was a channel dedicated to show you what shows were on at specific times. Life was so much harder back then.
Right.
And then if you missed it, you had to wait for another rotation.
Yes. Yep.
But it sucked because it would show you all the other channels that you didn't have.
You're like, oh, that movie, I want to see it. Oh, that's on Showtime. I don't know that.
I don't have that one. Oh, man. But so, Jack Black is super pissed because Steve Broderick or Steven is blowing him off again.
Right, yeah, and he even makes a joke like he's like, hey, remember we got the concert tonight? And he's like, oh, I can't tonight because Robin called. Isn't there somebody else you could take? He's like, yeah, maybe I'll take my cable guy.
This all started because of him. Yeah, I would blame Jack Black.
That's pretty true. Yeah.
Right? Because if he never put that in his head, Steve wouldn't have ever asked for free cable.
Yeah.
But no, it's so Matthew Broderick is getting ready to see Robin.
Yep.
But there's Chip Douglas again, just lurking somewhere. And at this point, he's like, dude, you got to stay out of my life. We're not friends. All right? Yeah. You're just a guy who gave me free cable. And obviously, this has hurt Chip Douglas deeply.
Right. And he says it in a more polite way. He's like, hey, things with Robin are going well, so I'm going to have to spend a lot of time making sure I don't mess it up. I probably don't have enough time for more
new friends
in my life right now. So I appreciate you, but
but see, that's the issue is like when you're trying to tiptoe around the subject, he would have totally at the beginning just be like, no, I'm not going to hang out with you, man. I gave you $50. If you don't want to give it to me, just take it off.
Right.
I'm not going to hang out with you, dude.
Yeah.
But no, at this point, this is where Chip Douglas gets on a path of revenge. He gets Matthew Broderick in trouble by telling the police he had taken stolen property. He had accepted stolen property.
Right.
He's in jail for the weekend. Chip Douglas comes to visit him, and it just to set him up a little bit, he puts his nipple to the window so all the other inmates could see that Steven is possibly homosexual. He gets put out on bail, and he goes to dinner with Robin to his family's house. But oh no, who's there? Chip Douglas.
Right.
And they play a very inappropriate version of Password.
Yes, porno password?
Yeah, porno password where Chip Douglas has now put foreskin, has put, was it vagina?
Yeah.
Or clitoris, something like that.
Right, nipple.
And everyone seems to be having a fun time because it's an inappropriate game, but the family kind of doesn't care.
Right, but as a child, that's not necessarily the game you want to play with your mom. As your partner.
Okay. Yeah, as your partner. But man, Steve has had enough. He's about to leave, and Chip's like, I forgot what he whispers in his ear.
He said something about Robin's birthmark, because when he was...
Yeah, he was in the freaking vents.
Yeah, when he was like spying on her, he saw that she had a birthmark on her shoulder, which is like generally covered up by her clothes.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, so
and then he does like the tongue noise. Of,
oh right,
it was like someone making mac and cheese. And so at that point, Steven punches him, right? And I'm kind of mixed up towards like the part of the end, because all I can remember right now is that Chip Douglas takes Robin to the satellite.
Right.
Is that what? Is it,
yeah, because she gets really mad at
Steve. Mm-hmm.
And so then like Chip shows up at her house. Like you don't really see it, but it's like inferred that he shows up at her house to console her, so that he can talk to her about like, hey, I'm Steve's friend, you're Steve's girlfriend. What can we do to work together to
help him?
To help him, yeah. Because obviously he's going through something bad, and he just was in prison, and he's going a little crazy, and we both care about him.
Yeah, but it seems like when we find them at the satellite, right?
And it's also about this time that Jack Black is like, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
You said his name was Chip Douglas, and I just realized Chip Douglas was from
this TV show.
My Three Sons, or yeah,
something,
My Two
right?
Sons. And he's like, and so that triggered me, and I had to look up, and it turns out that there's no Chip Douglas that works at the cable company. Yeah. And looking a little further into it, there is a guy who got fired from the cable company about 6 months ago for stalking his customers.
Yeah. And he used a lot of names that were just from old TV shows.
Right, yeah.
Because as
Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah. So as he was growing up, like we see this throughout the movie, as he was growing up, he grew up with a single mother.
Yeah.
Dad wasn't present, but the mom is like, just watch TV, that's your babysitter, don't sit too close to the TV. And that's sort of where his mind was at.
Right.
And so he probably just never was able to get any skills of talking to people normally,
right, yeah,
respecting boundaries.
No social skills. It was just TV learned.
Yeah, which is an issue. But as we find them at the satellite, he's doing the same spiel that he did to Matthew Broderick with Robin.
Right, word for word.
He's like, Mortal Kombat with your friend in Vietnam. But it's raining, and Matthew Broderick has now realized what Chip is doing, and so they have this grand sort of battle at the the satellite dish.
Yeah.
He's holding Robin at staple gunpoint. Like I was like, listen, I feel like you could survive a couple hits with a staple gun.
Right.
Versus this psycho, because even as you're climbing,
I went to a burlesque show where the stripper lets you staple dollar bills to her butt.
Oh no.
So yeah, you could survive a staple gun. But I guess if you're Robin and you never got hit by a staple gun, you wouldn't know. That would be terrifying.
Oh man. Well, I guess like you don't really feel it on the butt because it's all fat.
Right.
Right. Man, that's wild. She should probably get tested for like tetanus or something.
I feel like it was her staple gun, and it was probably she sterilized things as she like loaded it. It was a weird show.
Man.
And she had like
what a performer.
And a Darth Vader mask on, so you didn't ever get to see her face.
Oh, you never got to know her as Staple Butt Girl?
Oh yeah, Staple Butt Vader.
Right. But they have this huge fight. They're at the top of the satellite dish, but Chip Douglas has found out that he has nowhere to go. He realizes, what he's doing is wrong.
Right.
And so he tells Matthew Broderick as he tries to thrust himself off of this satellite dish, he's like, I have to kill the babysitter.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty noble, because he's saying there's a lot of cable girls and cable guys out there that still have a chance to be normal.
Yeah. It's pretty powerful. Like,
right?
it and makes a lot of sense. And then throughout this entire thing, there is, like, we kind of, the Ben Stiller, Menendez twins kind of murder trial that never really gets shown, but it's always playing in the background of, like, all the TVs at, like, everywhere they go. So you catch enough of it that you kind of know what's going on. And, like, it's the night of the
reveal.
Yeah, the reading of the
verdict.
The verdict.
Yeah.
And he jumps, or he falls.
He forces Matthew Broderick to let go, and as he's falling, they're slowly revealing the verdict.
Yeah.
But the moment they reveal it, his body hits the satellite dish.
Yeah. And everybody's cable goes off.
And I'm like, man, how there should be no, if Gwen Stacy's neck snapped, his neck should have definitely ripped off. Stopping with that kind of force from, I believe, was like 100-foot drop.
Yes.
Right. But as he's getting wheeled away in a helicopter, right, Matthew Broderick asks one last time, "Hey man, what's your name?"
He's like, "I never got your real name."
Yeah. And he's all like, Ricky, Ricardo. And Matthew Broderick just realizes, I'm never gonna get his name.
Right. Yep.
But as he's getting airlifted away, the paramedic says what would be reassuring words to anyone else.
Right.
But what he's doing is fucking up his life by calling Chip Douglas buddy.
Yeah.
Pal.
It's okay, buddy.
You're gonna be okay, buddy.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He's all like, "Do you mean it? Am I your buddy?" And he reinforces it, which is another issue. He's like,
right.
"Yeah, you sure are." And then we get a devious smile, and it cuts to credits.
Cuts to credits.
Gobi, what are your favorite parts of this movie?
Well, definitely Medieval Times is by far the best part of the movie. He just like, and then he does this like thing where he takes the chicken skin, he puts on his face, and he's like,
I know,
Clarice. And it's one of those, like, nowadays most people wouldn't.
Oh yeah,
Silence of the Lambs movie that was like huge at that point.
Was it like 94?
Yeah.
I think it came out 94, 93.
Yeah.
It won like an award.
It did, yeah. So yeah, like that was hilarious. Andy Dick is the king, and so it's like that part is funny where he's like,
preferred customer my ass. Oh man.
And Andy Dick is like just like casually like, and now the games begin, but then he's like, you better get on the horse because I don't think this guy's playing.
Well, it seems like the entire cast got free cable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird. It's because it's like there's this like running gag of like all the people who get free cable and then now how much power the cable guy has over them.
Right.
He's like, I love this. This is my favorite restaurant. I probably eat here twice a week.
and it's free. Yeah, it probably is
Medieval
free.
Times. That's a lot. That's a lot to eat of Medieval Times.
I remember living in California and always wanting to go there. And the only time I ever got to go there was during a school trip.
Oh.
Like, that's where we ended the night or something. I forgot what the trip was, but I was like, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, because here in Vegas, we have a Excalibur tournament, which is very similar to the Medieval Times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, right?
And I'm like, when somebody's like, hey, come, what you want for your birthday? I don't know what to get you. I'm like, I got everything I need. But we could go to the Excalibur Tournament of Kings. Take me there for dinner. That'd be awesome. Love that show.
I know. I feel like for white people, it's like the only place where it's acceptable to eat with your hands.
Right. Yeah.
Filipinos eat with their hands everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember there's this girl in the like a college program that I was in with one of my friends, and me and him thought like she was cute, right? She's also another Filipino girl, but we went to the lunchroom, and she was like eating with her hands, and like she had her like leg up on the chair, which is like perfectly fine to see when you're at home. But we're like, but it, like I was still like I was like, oh, she's still cute, but my friend kind of like ruined it for me. He's like, oh my god, look at her, bro, out here eating like monkeys and stuff, man. And I was like, you're Filipino too? He's like, yeah, but I don't eat like that outside, dude. I have class. But you know, when you're at Tournament of Kings or Medieval Times, perfectly fine.
And there's like the classic like everybody thinks it line where at Medieval Times he's like says to Janine Garofalo, who's like the waitress, he's like, hey, could I get a fork and knife? And she's like in medieval times there were no forks and knives, so here at Medieval Times we don't use forks and knives. Can I get you a refill on your Pepsi?
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, but they had Pepsi. He's like, listen, dude, I got more tables to wait on. You know, it's not like it's a family restaurant, too. You can't be out here serving mead.
Right.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I actually, I love the banter between Steve Broderick and Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Because, you know, Matthew Broderick just plays the straight man so well. But I don't know, he's still funny, but not like in a very, it's in a very dry way.
Yeah.
But he plays pretty well off of Jim Carrey.
Right.
Yeah. So like you were, I think, out of high school during this time, right? 96?
Yeah, so
you're like college?
Yeah, I was 91.
Okay, so you're like in college or something,
Yeah.
or like just got done with college, right? But you grew up remembering more Jim Carrey than I did. And so how did it feel for you to watch this tonal shift in his acting?
Oh, kind of like I was saying at the beginning, like I loved, like I still thought this movie was hilarious.
Yeah.
So I loved to see that he was playing something that was a little different. You know, that it's not just that same, because like so many people get like pigeonholed, and you get like that slapstick comedian, and then that's all they play, and like every movie is like the same part basically with just different clothes. And Jim Carrey was, I was super disappointed that they had him play the Riddler, because I thought that was probably his worst role ever. Like just in general, that Batman movie, bad. Just
no, I hated that guy, the director.
Yeah,
because I believe he directed Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which are always like the epitome of just shitty comic book movie with high budget.
Right. Yeah. So I loved that that they were still trying to take chances with Jim Carrey and put him into something like this. Oh man, I thought this was fantastic. And like this was kind of like the end of the Matthew Broderick era, where like we were saying, like he had grown up and he just doesn't fit adult role. Like he's much better now. He's kind of made a comeback, but for a long time he kind of just disappeared. He was just
I mean, it just like Matthew Broderick. You know, at this point in time, it was hard to really cast him as a main lead.
Yeah,
because you know the boyish charms were gone.
Right.
Yeah, he was very, you know, in War Games, in Ferris Bueller, he was very impish.
Yeah,
you know, sort of like that like Loki type of character where he was very he did a lot of trickery, you know. But yeah, but as he kept growing older, he kept the same face. Yeah, but you know, I'm glad to see him, like, even though now he's like more relegated towards like supporting roles, but I think those like fit him.
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Like he's no longer. He's still like name quality, but no longer like star quality.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, you know who else was in this movie? Is the guy from Nobody. Have you seen that movie yet?
Mm-mm.
It's like an older version of John Wick. Oh God, he was Ted's boss from How I Met Your Mother. He's in so many things, playing so many supporting roles, but he got a lead movie called Nobody, where he plays like this accountant that used to be the accountant for the CIA or something like that. But he was actually Matthew Broderick's brother in this movie. You see him during Family Night.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, and yeah, it was weird for me seeing Jim Carrey take the more darker tone, just because of how old I was at the time. I believe this came out in '96, so I was about eight. So I grew up, like 6 to 8, watching, like wearing out the VHS tape on Ace Ventura 1 and 2.
Right. Yeah.
And The Mask. I also blame The Mask for my infatuation with blonde chicks. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
In that movie. Wow.
Yeah. She's hot in like every movie, but yes, that movie in
first
particular.
Yeah, she didn't look super tall there, and now like comparing it just made me realize how tall Jim Carrey was. Right? Because what's it called? Cameron Diaz looks so tall, and There's Something About Mary,
Right.
next to Ben Stiller, and I was like, man, Jim Carrey's tall. But watching the tonal shift for Jim Carrey into this movie was weird, but I think it kind of helped me widen my taste in movies.
Right.
Because I also, like, another movie that helped me with that was Rocky. I watched that when I was like 6 or 7.
Okay.
And when he didn't win at the end, it was so weird for me.
See, that's one of those weird, like, I don't know, like Mandela effect things.
Yeah.
Because like 10 years after I watched Rocky, if you would have asked me, of course Rocky won. I remember him winning. Like, that's how the movie ends, with him winning.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like way later that I
Rewatched
rewatched,
it.
and I was like, holy crap, he didn't win.
Maybe I think maybe for you blocked that out of your mind. You're like, there's no way the hero doesn't win in the first movie.
Right.
And you blended it in with the second movie.
Yeah.
Because I asked a lot of people that
okay,
too,
yes.
and they like the second movie more because Rocky wins at the end.
Right.
But I like the first movie more because he doesn't win at the end.
Yeah. And then once I went back and rewatched it, I was like, makes it even more powerful, that movie, having him lose.
Yeah, and so that was like one of my first instances, or like my first experience with like a movie that isn't like a happy ending.
Oh, right, like a tragedy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a tragedy. I always think tragedies are like Shakespearean tragedies.
Right, yeah.
Him not winning, I was like, he still got money. Oh, man. But yeah, no, and so like watching me being able to accept comedians go into like more serious or darker toned films is because of the Cable Guy.
Right. We had kind of mentioned Robin Williams. There was another one that was like that turned out to be like really dark. Was Death of Smoochie.
Oh yeah.
And that was kind of like the Mr. Rogers versus the Barney.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's weird because it's like I describe it as like, it's the funniest movie that I've seen, that at the end of the movie I like realize I never laughed once. But the movie itself is hilarious.
See,
like
that's how I feel about Anchorman.
Okay.
I won't like laugh as I'm watching it, but as I talk about it, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember Death of Smoochie. Was Robin Williams also in Toy Factory?
Yes.
Yeah, that one wasn't overly hilarious too, right?
Right. That kind of got a weird dark. Like the first half of it was like really slapsticky funny.
Yeah.
And then it got pretty dark at the end on that one too.
All right, so maybe Robin Williams did really kickstart it, but for me it was the Cable Guy that kickstarted it for me. Oh man, but yeah, there's a lot of great moments in this movie just because you can see the hints of where Chip Douglas or Jim Carrey's character is a decent human being. He understands human relationships.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand when he's in that situation.
Yeah. Just the right. He understands it from the outside, but when he's part of it, it's like that social awkwardness.
Yeah. And I thought it was just so dark or just so depressing when Matthew Broderick, as he's holding him over the ledge, he's like, I'll be there for you if you get help. You know, everyone gets lonely sometimes.
Yeah.
And then Jim Carrey, he pulls himself up and he's all like, but I get so much lonelier. And it's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty rough for him as maybe as growing up, maybe because he always wanted a brother. His mom never got a brother.
Right.
Obviously his mom was, I wouldn't say loose, but you know, she would leave Jim Carrey alone to go to bars and have sex with men. So it could be easy, or it could be plausible to say that she was a prostitute.
Wasn't father, a mom who was, if she was a prostitute or not, I don't know. Maybe she was just
free.
always free and
liberated,
out looking for a boyfriend, maybe, and just, I don't know,
skin dip. You know what? You just have to be glad though that he didn't grow up watching that one dude that was always like, I'm gonna send you straight to the moon, Cheryl. So like, you know, it's a good thing he didn't in his mind didn't normalize like women,
right?
Like female
pow right in the kisser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What show was that?
Was it Honeymooners?
Wasn't his catchphrase like, I'm gonna send you straight to the moon?
Yep.
I was like, dude, the 60s and the 50s were wild. Because I also grew up watching I Love Lucy.
Okay, yeah.
And that was pretty bland. As far as like, there's no threatening to hit his woman. As far as I remember.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Right. Oh man. But all right, we're getting to our hour. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If this is the first time you guys are joining us, thank you for joining us. We do our ratings in 4 sections. We have stream it, DVD it, Blu-ray it, and buy it. And this is, you know, a Jim Carrey Ultimate Box Collection is super easy to put together.
Right.
You know, you start if you have it in order, you start with something light, dark.
Yeah. No, I super huge Jim Carrey fan. I would love to do a Jim Carrey like ultimate 13 disc Bach collection, something Bach, because of the music.
13 disc collection.
Yeah, something like that would be great. Yeah, I love this movie. This is like Blu-ray. I'd love to see what kind of extras. In fact, looking into this, there was talk that there was even darker scenes in this movie that got cut because they were like, not that the studio said they had to, but they were just like, oh, we've made this a little too horror. Okay. So we're going to cut this back a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not like Silence of the Lambs. If they had some kind of like those cut scenes, that would be, whoa.
Yeah, I would also like to watch this movie with just like a commentary from Jim Carrey and the director and Ben Stiller,
right? Talking
about like the tones of the movie, the reasons why they went with certain directions with the movie, the underlying message behind the movie. I'd also like to, you know, if I ever had a doubt, I'd show her this movie. It's like, look, this is what you get when you're too nice to guys. You know, they think you guys are friends.
Right, yeah.
This is, you know, don't be too nice to people, all right? Just stand your ground, be mean, and if they stick around, then they're pretty cool.
Oh, and it was like the one other thing I thought was interesting is when he's standing on the dish and he's kind of giving his little spiel of like, hey, in the future you'll be able to like go to the Louvre on one channel and then watch female mud wrestling on the other, and then later on that afternoon play Mortal Kombat with your friend, and it's like that was like far-fetched early 90s, and it is like 100% like on the dot right now.
I know, right? And it'll be funny because maybe like in 20 years, all the things that we have that are in the baby stages now are just gonna be the normal stuff later, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's nice, like the movies. As you watch, like the older you watch them, the more it becomes sort of like a time capsule.
Right, yeah. and society, like so many movies have gotten so dark that like now rewatching this, it is feels much less dark than it originally did. Yeah, it's like a much more mainstream. Now,
but like that's because like this is sort of like, I wouldn't say the start of it, but this was pretty edgy in the 90s. Right. And, it just, obviously, the more connected we become, the worse it got, right?
Yeah.
We have Swim Fan and all that stuff. Like, just imagine making this movie or Fear now. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you do the cable guy, because, people still get cable.
Right.
But
he'd be like the internet guy now.
Oh, right. He's like, do you want what? Are you trying to pay me extra for free fiber optics?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's legal. I'm going to have to report. Psych. Just kidding, man. I got you. I'll hook you up, man. Don't worry about it. Oh my God. Yeah. If you made a household lose internet, the whole house would go crazy.
That's the first time you ever said anything that like dated how old you were. You said, psych.
No, I'm pretty sure if we ever have like a super fan and he just cut all the episodes together, he's just like, dude, Barry's so old. Yeah, I wish we would get big enough to where someone did that, because obviously Joe Rogan is like the king of podcasts, right? Right. But there's a video of him out on YouTube. It's Joe Rogan versus Ro Jogan, and this guy just cut like 200 episodes of him having a conversation with Ro Jogan, of them just asking. It's so weird. I'll show you after this, but yeah. All right, guys, we gotta end the video off, or we gotta end the episode off today. But thank you guys for joining us. We have all of our affiliate links down below, so if you guys want to help support us, you guys are gonna shop on Amazon anyway. Whether it be HDMI cables that I have to buy now for my new computer, or for groceries, depending on what city you are. Yeah, please use it. It helps us out. Every tiny bit counts.
Yeah, and certainly like us and share us and leave us a comment. Let us know what you like about the show, what you hate about the show. Smash us or praise us. Praising is even better.
Yes, and single moms, please smash me.
See, and that's how old I am. Smash didn't mean that, but
and again, I just dated myself once.
Right.
No one says smash anymore. It's not. I think Netflix and chill's too old now.
Yeah, we can start posting these quicker. Our references are gone like in the month
They'll
that
keep
we wait.
Getting older, right? And at some point, it's just gonna be a sound effect like splat.
Right.
Or it'll just be a meme of just like someone stirring a spoonful of mac and cheese.
Oh, now I'm hungry.
Oh, guys. But yeah, thanks for joining us. My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage, and it's on her Music for Podcast 3 album, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.